The Queensland Government has announced it's delaying returning to school by 2 weeks to protect children, staff and families. The news comes as Queensland recorded more than 10,950 cases. We are joined by Brisbane Bureau Chief Adam Walters. Good afternoon to you, Adam. Why has the Premier decided to extend the summer holidays?
Good afternoon, Julie. Queensland Premier Annastacia Palaszczuk says she's not prepared to take any chances with the health of children as the Sunshine State prepares to roll out the vaccination program for kids next week. Now, she said Queensland should be bracing itself for what she described as a short, sharp wave in the COVID crisis, and that delaying the return to school until February 7 was in the best interests of all concerned.
The last thing is I don't want parents to have concerns. I've got sisters who've got young children, they're concerned, and they want to make sure that their kids are vaccinated before return to school. But also too, we're heading towards a peak. There may be staff shortages as well. So we've got to factor all of that in. This is going to be this January and February is going to be a very tough time for Queensland.
Julie, the Premier said more detail will be available by Monday when it will be determined whether both primary and secondary schools will be affected. Now, the announcement came as Queensland recorded almost 11,000 new cases from more than 36,000 tests. 313 people have been hospitalised and 14 are under intensive care.
And Adam, the Queensland has ruled out reintroducing density limits for indoor spaces too.
Yes, Julie, although the Chief Health Officer here joined the Premier in appealing for people to work from home and avoid crowds, Dr John Gerard simply doesn't see any need for density limits. This is what he said.
The general advice that I've been getting is that if we're going to if we are going to use density limits, first of all, they would need to be quite draconian. I mean, a 1 person per 2 square metre limit is not much of a limit. Secondly, the demographic we're talking about, people in their 20s and 30s, the virus is already widespread. And I have not given advice to the government to reduce density limits.
Julie, an interesting twist to emerge from this morning's news conference in Brisbane, with Annastacia Palaszczuk confirming that in National Cabinet she did not support the call of federal Labor leader Anthony Albanese for the federal government to provide free rapid antigen test kits to all Australians. This is what she said.
I support it being available to the people who can least afford it, but also to those people who have become close contacts can go and get it free, and we're handing them out, as you know, freely at these centres.
Julie, the Chief Health Officer in Queensland here conceded that with the scarcity of those rat test kits and the absence of PCR testing, that tens of thousands of people will be self-diagnosing.
Adam Walters live in Brisbane. Thanks for that update this afternoon.